No Country for Old Men, the movie and the book, follow along quite similarly with one another. What's interesting about this pair is that the book itself is focused less on actions and more of thoughts going on, specifically like in Llewellyn's head. The movie actually does a great job of showing these thoughts going on in Llewellyn's head, and you can see that in this scene right here. It's very quiet, and you can see he's just sitting here thinking of something, and he finally says something along the lines of all right or okay. So it shows that he's been wrestling with something internally. Another aspect in the book that we kind of have a sense of this internal struggle within the mind, or something that leaves open for readers to interpretate, is the convenience store scene. And although there's lots of talking and the script is basically straight from the text of the book, you can see that there's a lot of internal things that you don't really get from the text that are going on here. You can tell, for instance, that Shigar is kind of irritated by what's going on, by the niceties of this man running the convenience store, and he just wants the man to be straight up with him, which he won't do. And so you can see that Shigar is kind of getting irritated, yet you can also see that he's enjoying toying with the man. And the man, on the other hand, who's trying to be nice and, have manners to this man, you can see that he's a little bit creeped out by what's going on and isn't really sure what the situation is, and definitely doesn't appreciate Shigar toying with him like he is. Additionally, the book itself is quite dark, and we see this quite literally in the movie, as there's many dark scenes in the movie. One of the scenes in the movie that really showcases this is at the beginning when Llewellyn is being chased in the dark by a truck. And you get this really great imagery of this bright, looming truck kind of bearing down on you as you're running. And it kind of, even though, like in the book, you don't get the dark foreshadowing or dark imagery necessarily through words, you can definitely get this through the visuals of this scene. In my opinion, one of the most interesting aspects about the book is that it's really quite dark and violent and kind of gory. However, you don't really get this sense because although it's described, the scenes that are happening, say there's dried blood or pools of blood on the ground, it's not really done so in a way that harps on the goriness of that. In the opening scene of the movie where Shigar is strangling this security guard, you can also see this as it focuses more on the marks that his feet lay on the ground. So you get the sense of this violence, this death, but you don't really see the gore that's involved with it. I definitely think that No Country for Old Men was one of the most interesting movies to compare to the book, or book to compare to the movie, simply because of the unique way that the book was written, with not a lot of action, more internal thought, very dark imagery. And I thought that the movie did a really great job of highlighting these main points with the scenes that I showed, and then with the lighting of the camera and camera angles, where, say, in the scene where Llewellyn is running from the truck, where it's kind of down below and it makes you feel below the truck. It was really interesting, actually, how the movie went about portraying the book, and I thought it did a really fantastic job in a way that didn't take away from the book or the story at all.